Most men touch women the wrong way. Not because they lack technique, but because they don't understand what truly awakens desire. They think attraction is about physical contact alone, but the reality is much deeper. It's about the way you make her feel, both physically and emotionally. A man who masters touch must also master his presence. A weak man seeks validation through physical contact, hoping for a reaction. A stoic man, on the other hand, moves with control, intention, and confidence. He doesn't touch just for the sake of touching. He understands that true power lies in how he carries himself, not just in what he does. Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 places women crave to be touched, the ones that trigger not only pleasure but also deep emotional attraction. If you master these, you will separate yourself from other men, because a woman will not only feel desire for you, she will feel drawn to you in a way she can't explain. But before we begin, if you want to develop this level of attraction and confidence, hit the like button and subscribe. The ability to command presence and awaken desire isn't about luck, it's about knowledge and execution. Let's begin. 1. The lips, the gateway to sensuality. A woman's lips are more than just a place for kisses, they are one of the most sensitive and intimate areas of her body. The lips contain thousands of nerve endings, making them extremely receptive to touch, temperature, and pressure. A well-executed touch here doesn't just stimulate physical pleasure, it creates deep emotional anticipation. Most men make the mistake of rushing this moment. They either go straight for an aggressive kiss or fail to build any real tension. But a woman doesn't just want to be kissed, she wants to feel the energy behind the touch. When you slow down, when you create space for anticipation, that's when desire intensifies. A stoic man understands that presence is everything. Instead of moving in too quickly, he lets the moment build. He might run his thumb gently across her lower lip, watching how she reacts. He might lean in close, letting her feel his breath, but not closing the gap immediately. This isn't just physical, it's psychological dominance. When a man is completely in control of himself, his touch becomes infinitely more powerful. Touching a woman's lips should feel effortless yet deliberate. The goal isn't just to connect physically but to make her feel the weight of your presence. A man who rushes this moment gives away his power. A man who controls the pace, who makes her crave what comes next, becomes unforgettable. The key to making her want more isn't what you do, it's how you do it. And a man who understands this never has to chase attraction. It naturally gravitates toward him. 2. The neck, the hidden sensitivity zone. A woman's neck is one of the most sensitive and intimate areas of her body. It's where physical pleasure meets psychological surrender, a place that can make her feel completely relaxed or overwhelmed with anticipation. When touched correctly, the neck creates an immediate emotional and physical reaction, making it one of the most powerful areas for building attraction. The mistake most men make is being too aggressive or mechanical. Some rush into kissing or biting without considering the effect of light, controlled touch. Others apply too much pressure, turning what should be a sensual moment into something uncomfortable. What most don't realize is that the power of touching a woman's neck isn't in intensity, it's in precision. A stoic man understands that his touch should feel effortless yet deliberate. Instead of immediately grabbing or kissing her neck, he lets the tension build slowly. A soft, almost ghost-like touch along the side of her neck, moving with deliberate slowness, awakens her senses in ways she doesn't expect. The less predictable the touch, the more powerful it becomes. Another key element is control over timing. A brief touch and release can be just as powerful as continuous stimulation. A stoic man never rushes, he moves with confidence, letting her feel his presence without overwhelming her. This creates a craving for more without him having to force anything. Women respond not just to where you touch, but to how much control you maintain while doing it. When a man isn't desperate for a reaction, his presence becomes 10 times more attractive. Mastering this area is about understanding that true desire isn't created through force, it's created through anticipation. And anticipation is what makes a woman truly crave more. 3. The lower back, the control point. A woman's lower back is more than just a physical touch point, it's a psychological anchor. This area represents stability, security, and dominance when touched correctly. It's one of the few places on her body that, when stimulated, can ignite both physical attraction and deep subconscious trust. Most men overlook this area or use it purely in a functional way, like guiding her through a doorway or placing a hand there casually. But a stoic man understands that the lower back is a control point, a way to subtly establish presence, attraction, and confidence without needing words. The mistake most men make is either not using this touch at all or applying too much force. A sudden, rough grab can feel possessive rather than enticing, while a weak, uncertain touch signals hesitation. Women respond to confidence in movement, and nowhere is this more evident than in the way a man places his hand on her lower back. The key is firmness without force. A slow, deliberate touch, one that lingers for just a moment longer than expected, communicates certainty in quiet dominance. When leading her through a room, letting your hand rest naturally on her lower back for a second before releasing creates a sense of connection that she feels deeply. A Stoic man moves with intention, not impulse. He doesn't grab out of insecurity or overcompensate with pressure. His touch is calm, controlled, and effortless, making a woman naturally lean into his presence. When a man understands the balance between assertion and restraint, his touch becomes something more than physical. It becomes a silent but powerful signal of confidence and control, two things that instantly set him apart. 4. The hands, the overlooked pathway to desire. Most men underestimate the power of hand-to-hand contact, assuming it's just a basic gesture. But a woman's hands are incredibly sensitive, filled with thousands of nerve endings that can trigger a deep emotional and physical response. The way you touch her hands can either be forgettable or electrifying, depending on your approach. The mistake most men make is treating hand-holding as routine, something automatic, with no real presence behind it. They grab too quickly, hold too tightly, or fail to create any form of tension. But for a woman, a well-placed touch on her hands can be just as intimate as any other part of her body, if done correctly. A Stoic man understands that touch is not just about contact, it's about how much intention you put into it. Instead of simply holding her hand passively, he introduces subtle variations, tracing his fingers lightly along her palm, interlocking fingers briefly before releasing, or even lifting her hand and pausing just for a moment before letting go. These small details create anticipation and mystery, rather than predictability. This is also one of the best ways to test and build connection without being too forward. A woman's reaction to your hand on hers tells you everything about her comfort level and interest. If she doesn't pull away, if she mirrors your movement, if she lightly squeezes back, these are all silent signals of attraction. A Stoic man moves with intention, not desperation. His touch is always controlled yet effortless, creating an experience where even something as simple as touching her hand leaves a lasting impact. Attraction isn't just in the bold moves, it's in the details most men never notice. 5. The hips, the center of attraction. A woman's hips are one of the most instinctively attractive areas of her body. This is where physical connection meets raw desire, where subtle dominance can be expressed without words. Touching a woman's hips the right way can make her feel safe, drawn in, and completely present in the moment. Most men either hesitate too much or go in too aggressively. Hesitation makes the touch feel weak, uncertain, and unmemorable. On the other hand, being too forceful can make her feel uncomfortable, disrupting the natural flow of attraction. The key is in balanced control, firm, yet relaxed, intentional, yet effortless. A Stoic man understands that his touch should never feel desperate or rushed. When he places his hands on a woman's hips, he does it with confidence, not neediness. Whether he's leading her while dancing, guiding her closer in an intimate moment, or simply resting his hand there briefly, his energy communicates everything. The secret to making this touch powerful is in the pace and subtlety. A light but steady grip, applying just enough pressure to be felt without being overbearing, sends a clear message of control and presence. If done right, she will instinctively lean into the touch, following your lead without even realizing it. A man who understands how to use calm, controlled movement never has to force attraction, it happens naturally. Women respond not just to touch itself, but to the energy behind it. A man who can place his hands on her hips with certainty and poise stands out, not just physically, but psychologically. Mastering this level of presence means that when you touch a woman, she doesn't just feel it on her skin, she feels it in her mind. Now you understand the 5 places women crave to be touched, the ones that awaken not just physical pleasure, but deep emotional attraction. The difference between an ordinary touch and an irresistible one is not just where you touch, but how you do it. A weak man touches without intention, hoping for a reaction. A Stoic man touches with confidence, control, and certainty, knowing that desire is created through presence, not desperation. Each of these areas, the lips, neck, lower back, hands, and hips, are powerful in their own way. But none of them matter if you lack self-mastery. Women are drawn to men who are calm, composed, and in control of their emotions. If your touch feels desperate or needy, it loses its power. If it feels effortless and deliberate, it becomes something unforgettable. The truth is, attraction is not about chasing or proving yourself. It's about commanding presence. A man who understands this doesn't have to force anything. Women feel the difference in the way he moves, speaks, and most importantly, in the way he touches. If this video gave you insight, hit the like button and subscribe for more lessons on attraction, control, and self-mastery. Until next time, stay disciplined, stay confident, and most importantly, stay stoic.